Hi everybody, this is Davey with theplugmusic.com. Today we're going to be diving deep into the MLC and the MLC matching tool. And there's some problems here. This is essentially an open letter to the people at the MLC working on this stuff. I really appreciate what you're doing. I think the MLC is doing a great job. I think you're building really great things, but there's room for improvement. And I want to break it down with a pretty specific dive into my own catalog, my own situation. So starting from the MLC page here, we're in the matching tool. And all I'm doing here is searching by my name. And as you can see, there's over 200 results. Unfortunately, I can't see more than 200 results. I'm limited to just the first 200. And this is money coming from the DSPs. So here's several DSPs reporting money related to this song. And it has the ISRC. And it's not getting matched to the work in my catalog. Now, it's pretty clear from just me poking around in here that essentially the main problem with the automatic matching system and ultimately the matching tool and this whole process is it's pretty clear that the matching is happening primarily based on recording title and not ISRC. And that's a problem because titles can be slightly changed on different platforms, and that's actually the case here. Whereas the ISRC is going to be the same every time. We're going to dive a little deeper into that. But if you can see from this example, Your Mind is an Ocean Part 1, spelled out as Part 1. Here's the ISRC. If I tab over, here is my song registration at the MLC. And as you can see, it's Part 1 spelled this way. So it's only slightly different. But here you can see the ISRC coming through is the same, ending 1063. That's the same ISRC we're seeing here. So really this should be matched automatically. And you know, about me and my business, my catalog, I'm a one-man operation. So for me to go in one by one across all of these failed matches and to click through the process and claim each one, there really isn't a bulk way to do it. I can't, just claim all of them at once. I really have to do one by one because this work only, or this recording only matches up to one work. This is a very unwieldy system, and I really don't have time to go through this way and do it manually. So I'm going to make another video following up to demonstrate, because I basically built a bot to do it for me. And the point here is the ISRC is coming through, so it really should be getting matched to my work, and you already have these other ISRCs. So ultimately when it gets matched, you should be logging in your system that Part 1 spelled this way is simply an alt title for the same work, Your Mind is an Ocean Part 1. It really shouldn't be entering the matching tool system. This is another example here where we have Ambient Dreams Part 2, but if I look down at my matched recordings, there's actually Part 7, Part 5, Part 4, Part 9. These are all getting matched here, and there's all different ISRCs. So the only way it seems that this could be happening is if the recording title is getting weighted more heavily than the ISRC, which really should never be the case, particularly because I go through great pains to submit my ISRC when I'm sending my registration. So I have a bulk MLC registration template here that I use for managing my own catalog. This is going to be the next batch that I send to the MLC, and here are all of my ISRCs. So I know from day one that when I'm sending a new registration, I'm including the ISRC in the hopes that when you're receiving the recording information, you can properly match the ISRC to the right works registration. And that's simply not happening. And even worse, it's fine in a way if these are all getting matched to the wrong work, because at least this is all my stuff, so I'm getting paid for my work, but really you should be matching ISRC to ISRC. If I look at my catalog here, you can see some of this is all under Sleep and Wellness Podcast, which is where I had to do re-releases. I had to change the name around a little bit, so each recording was re-released either as Part 9 spelled out like this, or Part 9 or Part 1 with this kind of format. So lots of these have 0 recording artists, and then all of a sudden one of them will have 9 records or 21 records or 23 records. And again, that's this example where all of these ISRCs are getting matched to one work, when I know for a fact that when I submitted my registrations, I submitted the ISRC with the work, so it should be getting matched one-to-one. Another thing that's a little bit problematic here is today is April 3rd, and I send my first correction through the matching tool March 21st. It's been 2 weeks and it's still submitted, hasn't been reviewed. Again, when I submitted my works, I included the ISRC code. I am claiming this through the tool and saying, this is matching it. It has the same song title. It has the ISRC. It has my writer name. So I don't know even why this necessarily needs a manual review. You should be able to very easily and systematically confirm that these are in fact mine, especially when, as a one-man operation, it's going to take me hours and hours, even running my bot, to get through my full catalog of issues from the matching tool. So this is hours of work that an independent artist or small label or publisher has to do. And I think it's a little bit unreasonable that 2 weeks later, my submission hasn't even been reviewed and I'm still not getting paid for all of these payments coming through. So that is my basic overview of the matching tool system. We need to get matching one-to-one on ISRCs, especially when the registrant is submitting the ISRC with the work registration. Again, this is very cumbersome to do as an individual going through this process. So I'm going to show a follow-up video where I'm going to demonstrate my bot that solves these issues. And I hope you enjoy that. And to everybody at the MLC, I really appreciate what you're building and what you're doing. I think overall you're great, but we need to improve the matching process here. And I'd be happy to help. So reach out to me if there's any way I can contribute and assist in improving the product. Just a couple more brief things. There should be some kind of bulk system here. Again, I built a bot to do this, but ideally I don't have to build a robot to do all my publishing admin, and I should be able to upload a CSV to claim all this stuff from the matching tool. Better yet is if I could do this through an API. I know that there's a public API related to search that's requires a fee, so I would also ask that you please make your public API free and to let users actually do registrations and matching operations, and in general do catalog admin and management through an API, because that's the future. That's the way to go. Thanks for listening. I'll see you around.